Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. It's actually been a couple of days since I've made a video, did the work week. So gonna try to jump into it right away. Even though there was a video posted 2 days ago. As you know, I normally try to make those videos on my days off, and tonight is my first day off, so I'll try to do a couple here. On those days off, I had some brainstorming that was going on. So I'll go over that here in a second. And I think I've got some good future stuff going forward because I got some inspiration last week while I was doing those videos and kind of thought about a few more things. And then when I was sitting down here looking at my screen here, and you can see I'm looking at the agent filters. I was doing a little bit of research there. I thought it'd be really good to do a video about what I'm about to talk about, but just in general, it's the first time you're watching the videos. This is really just a video blog of whenever I return to Eve, and after about a 6 month hiatus, and just starting from scratch and seeing how I can do. So if you want to check out from the beginning, there is a chronological playlist, should be in the description. Other than that, we got the maintenance out. Let's talk about what the video is about today. If I never make the uh, title of this until I actually make the video, but the title should be something along the lines of Planet Head's Garage or something along those lines. Um, and in general, some other things that are there. But I had an epiphany this weekend while I was at work and playing a little bit and watching a little bit of TV. I watched a documentary. I don't know if you guys have ever seen um, or ever heard of the show Orange County Choppers. It was about that family that was making those really customized motorcycles back in the early 2000s, and they will always fight amongst each other and blah blah blah. I really didn't watch it a whole lot, but I watched maybe one or two episodes back then. It was like a um, but because they're very formulaic. Um, but it's well known for being one of the first shows that really spurred the whole reality show movement. Um, and I was also at the same time going through and making my next level that I want to build soon in as far as flying the regular Vexor. Also got some really good comments from you guys. Maybe I'll hit a few of those during this video if I remember, about through the last couple videos. Um, but in general, it got me spurring a thought. And while I'm doing this video series, I'm trying to put out like a video every other day. Well, not trying to put out. I do a video whenever I have an inspiration, and then I just kind of plan them out to post every 2 days. Um, the My thought was, well, at some point, I'm not going to have returned to Eve. I will be in Eve. Now, keep the series going because it's a chronological thing. Um, but as a side note, I was actually thinking of creating a channel. If I have an inspiration, not a channel, a series about fitting in the same vein that I'm doing the video series. Now, um, in general, uh, as I've returned, rather than just do a bunch of stuff that I've always done um, with playing, I've been more focused during this series of just trying to dig a little bit deeper into some things. I think it was like the last video that I did, or the video before that, tried to dig a little bit deeper into how to choose drones for different fights, how to do different missions. I've never really done a whole lot of that. Getting into market trading, that sort of thing, um, rather than just take things for granted. And while I was fitting up this new Vexor, I was really having a good deal of fun. Now, there are a lot, I've always said this, and I think I said it in videos, a lot of third-party pieces of software out there that you can do different things. Um, but my idea is to start doing videos that are not named Returning to Eve. I'm going to keep doing those as I'm playing the game. But if a video is only focused on fitting a ship out or coming up with an idea, then I'll just name it Planet Head's Garage, and it'll have the type of ship that's there. Does this mean this is going to be an expert build? No, definitely not. I am not an expert fitter, Actual thought was, okay, I'll do the video. I don't know how long each one will go. I don't think it'll be very long, but I'll fit out whatever ship it is, and it'll be kind of almost a two-parter. I'll do the video itself, where I'm just kind of clicking around and going through some things and doing things as I learn them, and then and it could be the next day, it could be a week later, build the parts to the ship, figure out what issues that I ran into. Also, read the comments on uh, the videos if you guys have any ideas once you see the fit that I came up with, um, and then build a finished version of the ship. Try it out through a couple of different tests and post that up on, and then post the results video up after that. So it'd be like each one would be the building of the ship or the fit and coming up with the idea, and then over a period of time, try it out. And um, at that point, and then read the comments, kind of go through some research on it, maybe dig a little bit deeper, and then do a second video on that. So that's kind of my thought. And I'm kind of liking this idea because I had a lot of fun messing around with a little Vexor here. I have my original Vexor that I'm still flying. Um, Here she is, super duper basic. I've even just thrown on random drones that I fly. Are you coming up here fitting? Gonna take a little while. Lee-dee-dee. Hello. Also got an itch on my foot. You guys can't see it, but my foot itches. My dog's lying down behind me. Um, why is my fitting window not coming up? Come on. Just running slow? There it goes. I don't know why. To maximize it? That's strange. So in general, super duper basic fit for the ship. Um, but as an update to it, I have started doing level 3 missions. I know I've talked about that in the past. I'll probably do a longer video on that. I really didn't think this ship would be able to do them. I've probably done about 5 or 6 level 3 missions, and I've been able to complete every single one of them so far. Now they're taking a lot longer than power gaming through it and making the most perfect fit. This is a super duper simple fit. It's got simple guns, simple um, uh, uh, mid-level things with your micro warp drive. Nothing Tech 2, nothing even. I don't think it even has anything that is meta leveled up. Just stuff that I've been able to build, and not even scripts for these omnidirectional thingies. Um, but I'm still able to finish the level threes. Does it take a while? Yeah, I've actually got to warp away and warp back. So it's super duper base level ship that I've got. I think I did the video on this fit that I'd come up with. Not even any rigs. So definitely a huge amount of improvement that can go. So while I was looking at this, I was trying to think of the next step. That's what got me the idea of the garage. And there's a second part to the garage part of it. But I came up with, I looked through a couple of different things, and I thought about what I wanted to have on the ship. And after flying this original Vexor for a little while, and uh, and I'm seeing a lot of different options that you can do. What do I want to do at this time? And it was okay. Got the drones. Now I could fly a full flight of either mediums or a full flight of lights, and then I've got the high slots. Do I go with small guns or large guns, or no guns at all? Like was pointed out to me that um, you can then speed tank with 2 afterburners if you go with no guns too. I can't remember who, somebody threw that in the comments, so that was even another option. Um, and uh, how do you tank the ship? So currently, my thought was, okay, I want to have long range guns, um, to be able to pick things off because a lot of these missions I've done so far, I land in an area And since the Vexor doesn't have a whole lot of uh, damage tanking, I have to close range on these guys, get the drones out there and fight them. And then I have to watch my tanking, which is taking a lot of time. So my thought was, okay, if I can be farther away with the guns, then I can pick off be able to take a lot less damage. And the reason I realized that was what I started in one of my tactics was to close the range to within the 35 kilometers that my skills do so far, um, send the drones out, and then turn around and match pace with the ships as they were trying to close their range with me to attack me, and let the drones do their work and just manage the drones from that side. Every once in a while, since I don't have a whole lot of tank on the ship, I would have to warp away, so I'd have to call the drones in. So my thought is to um, add on the damage of the long range guns to the drones. Second part being, I want my drones to be a little bit faster, so I want to go with the light drones, which with the 75, um, actually it's 125. Shoot, that's a little bit different. Hold on, need some coffee. If I wanted to with this ship, I could literally, there's enough room on it that I could put 5 of every type of regular drone into it that does every type of damage, which would allow me um, to do missions without having to reset my drones. Because I could just pick, okay, they're susceptible to thermal damage. Let's get the hobgoblins out there. They're susceptible to EM. Let's get the whatchamacallits, the acolytes out there. So that's my first thought. How do I accentuate the drones? Secondly, how can I tank by being farther away? Okay, let's put some larger guns onto it. And then thirdly, how do I fit it out from there? The other reason I wanted to go with the light drones is they fly faster. So if I do have to warp away, I can get those drones in faster. Plus, they'll close the range faster. Now, I'm not saying medium drones are out of the question. They are still pretty quick. Um, but the light drones right now are the ones I'm going to go with. So that said, I might do a whole video on this. Oh, that'll be actually maybe the first video of my Planet Heads garage. Is the fit that I came up with is an updated one. I'm not going to go through all these parts, but as you can see, I've got some medium-sized guns here with a drone link augmenter to get that distance out there for the drones. The medium level rail guns are on there so that I can get farther distance on that. And then I've got some cap boosting that's going on here and an increase in my cap to help me with my damage protection. I got some other stuff down below, and I've got rigs thrown in here. So I'll talk about that later on. Is it a perfect fit? No. But is it something that I can build all of these parts other than the rigs because I'm an alpha? Yes. So that said, actually, I want to turn these rigs off here real quick. See, am I still cap stable? I am still cap stable with that. Okay. So that is what I want to do. I'm going to set up a second. I'm going to still do my returning to E videos on a normal basis. But I'm also going to, and we'll try it out for a little while. If I have an epiphany that I want to do a video, I'm just going to do, it's going to be called Planet Heads Garage, and those are going to be the videos. Second part being, okay, that's actually pretty good. It works out for my plan of build ships, build parts of those ships that I want to fly. And if that works, that means I can sell those parts onto the market. Until I actually go a mega, I'm not going to really focus a lot on the market other than learning the market. I'm not going to try to really make a ton of ISK off of it. I will, whenever possible, sell things on there and try to make as much ISK, and I might do some videos on that. But I've done a few little market videos, and it's pretty tough to actually do. Let's go ahead and the second part of this video that I wanted to, I'm going to pull up my browser here. Come on. Boy, this is wrestle. So, actually, you can see here, as you can see with my screen, man, this is running super slow today, or just not progressing. If you want to read the tabs up top, um, I've started doing a little bit of research on the side about getting a new gaming PC. I've been watching a lot of videos. I think I've talked about that in the past. So hopefully, fairly soon, within the next month or two, might be able to upgrade my stuff so I can make these videos and do a little bit better graphics and stuff like that. But I'm needing to do that research of it. But my next step is okay, if you're going to do a show and build these ships, where are you going to build them at? And that's where the second part of the epiphany came in. So long story short, and my epiphany was that I hope I'm not saying the word epiphany or even using it incorrectly. That would be terrible. You use the same word 15 times incorrectly in a video. Um, I want to try to think of when it happened. When I was, this would be 13 years ago. 13 years ago, my mother passed away, and we never had a lot of money. But she left me just enough money that I could put a down payment on my first house. Very small. Well, I didn't know it yet, but it was enough money for a very small house, and it was only the down payment. And she left me. It wasn't for a house, but my thought at the time was she's left me this little nest egg that she had. I didn't want to squander it, so I wrote down. I figured out I want to spend this on a house and just get out of the whole renting thing. And I started from scratch. I'd never looked around before. I never had any money to do that sort of thing. And the simplest thing I came up with was, okay, what do you want? Don't just go out there and buy whatever is a fancy. What do you want? And so I wrote down a list of the three things that I wanted to have in my first house. Now we all know what we need to have. There's a price range that we can have. We know it needs to have a roof. If you have kids, I don't have any kids, but it's got to have a good school system, that sort of thing. But there's going to be things that you want. And I sat there and I brainstormed. I had like a list of 10 things, and I said, okay, the house that I move into, I want it to have three things. And be being of the customer service side for a long time, I know that whenever you go to buy something, you get that rush of it's endorphins or adrenaline or something like that. Where you're like, "Oh, this is nice. Oh, it's got a hot tub," or "Oh, it's got a built-in blah blah blah," and that overshadows. And then suddenly you buy something, and then you're like, "Why did I get this for this hot tub? I never got the three things that I wanted." So really quickly, um, when I was first looking at houses at that time, I made a rule. It had to have my first house had to have at least one of the three things that I wanted. Had to have all the things I needed, but had to have at least one of the three things I wanted. And then if I ever bought a second house, it would have to have two. And if it was a third house, it would have to have three. So the first house I bought, it had to have, and I came up with this, had to have either a yard for a dog, or it had to have a be split into two parts, or some way that I could uh, subsidize the mortgage so that I can make money off of it in the long run. So maybe have an apartment rental or something like that in my house. Um, or it had to have off-street parking. And when I was going around and looking at multiple properties with my real estate agent, and we would go into the houses, if it didn't have at least one of those things on top of all the prerequisites, um, then I would knock it off my list. I wouldn't be like sold into something else. It turned out the best thing that could have ever happened was I found a house after about 3 or 4 months of searching that had a backyard that had a fenced backyard. It was a smaller fenced backyard, but enough room that I could get a dog. And I had a dog for the first time in 20 years, and she lived with me for a long time. And best thing that I ever did for my life. Went down memory lane there. Sorry about that. Probably talking too long. In general, the epiphany that I had was with Eve. If I'm going to build a garage or start doing something, it's probably not going to be the last place I ever live, but I need to, in Eve, like my last home base. But what do I need to do? I need to have prerequisites, things that it has to have, and then I need to make the list of three of those things when I'm looking around that the system has to have, and it has to have one of them. And then when I decide to move the second time, if I ever decide that that area kind of worked my way out of it, then it would have to have two of them. And then hopefully my forever home within Eve would have three. Um, so that said, I did make up a quick list earlier. And can I make these? Let's just see here. Font. I think I can increase the font here, right? Blah, blah, blah. Edit. That doesn't matter. I'll tell you what it is. I should probably use Word. I just use the notepad all the time, but I should probably use Word just so I can type these out farther. You learn something new every day. So my prerequisites, just as I've thought, and as I'm looking around, I'm getting a few more, are very simple. The prerequisites, it's got to have the ability to produce things. Number two, it's got to have the ability to research things because I'm trying to get into production and sell stuff and save money by researching my blueprints. And then it's also, since I'm focused on Galente, it's got to have access to level 3 and level 4 Galente missions. Those are prerequisites. They've got to be there. High sec. Okay, I'm sorry. High sec access to that. Not low sec. I want to be able to do these missions without worrying about somebody randomly flying through my low sec system and shooting at me. So those are the prerequisites it has to have for at least now. Could those change down the road? Yes. If I joined like a big corporation, if I decided to move like to the quiet area of low sec or null sec or something like that, yes. But currently, with my current state of my character, those are the ones for my new home. The second one um, were my three wants. You know, come up with your three wants of what you want, and then find a place and it has to have at least one of them. So currently, um, my three wants are I want it to have availability of Minmatar missions, level 3 or level 4. Um, doesn't have to have that, but I'd like to have that because I'm trying to do agent missions and do that sort of thing, and that would give me more options. Second one want would be that it's within range of a trade hub. Um, uh, of at least no more than 10 jumps. So you could go, now I'm trying to figure out, do I want to go with the major trade hubs or like your Jitas and your Dodixis and your Amar and your Rens, or do I want it to be within 10 jumps of all trade hubs or decent trade hubs, like your second level trade hubs? Examples of that would be like Heck or Stackmon, things like that. I think I'm just going to go with the major trade hubs for this first place. So one of my wants would be there. Why? Because it would be easy for me to build the items and get them to market. I'm not spending a lot of time getting that stuff to market. Um, Number three, and this is the toughest part that goes along with number two. I want it to be on the beaten path, off the beaten path, off the beaten path. So I'm going to give you a quick example of that here. Whereas and when I say that, I don't want to be in a system that has a lot of through traffic because if I start building more and more expensive ships, I could have a lot more, I could be more and more of a target for gankers. So I want to be in a system that has less traffic. Doesn't have to have no traffic, but enough traffic, small amount smaller amount of traffic so that when somebody does come in system and I am flying something that might be a little bit more expensive, um, I can very easily see that they came in system through local and do a quick check to make sure that they're not there to scout out and gank my ship. So I'll give you a couple of examples of things that I was searching around for. So when I went in and pull back up Eve real quick, we go into the agent systems, and you can come in here and you can say, okay, something within 10 jumps of me, level 2 missions, blah, blah, blah. I was looking for systems that had enough agents for that area to fulfill my prerequisite of the Galente missions. Came back out and found the first one that I was looking at was, now I'm going to butcher this name, starts with an E, Eglinart. Eglinart? Um, so this system was very interesting to me because it looked interesting at first. It had a lot of agents in it. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it has the ability to build ships here, but it doesn't have the ability to research them, but it does have the ability to build them. Um, but then also looking at the system here, and this is what kind of caught my eye. Well, why did you stop there? Okay. The agents I noticed here with the NPC kills. There are a ton of NPC kills in this high sec level. If you notice here, some hours it gets up to almost a thousand NPC kills an hour. That's crazy amount for a high sec area from what I've seen so far. You've also got a lot of jumping in and out, people coming in and out. So what this tells me is there's an opportunity there where people are farming things in the area, and there's a lot of activity going in and out. I can't keep track of 150 people, and that's the lowest amount here, 150 people coming in and out of the system trying to see what's going on. Why is that happening? Because it looks like on a trade route going straight up to Dodixie. It's only 2 jumps from a major trade hub here. So I don't really, while it looked good from the beginning, it had a few things. It was missing my prerequisite of the research, and it was not on the beaten path. So it was actually negative of one of my wants. So looking around a little bit farther, um, I was looking up here, and as you're doing this research, you kind of see some interesting things, and you learn the lay of the land. So I was kind of looking up here at a system called Nashin, Nashi, butchering it again. Um, and this was interesting. It has, I'm not knocking this one off the list yet, but it has um, all of your research and your production. But does it have Galente level 4 and level 5 agents? So it's very quick for me to be able to go ahead and look through all this stuff. Close. It only has 1 level 3 and 1 level 4. So doesn't hit my prerequisites. I even checked to see if those were Galente or not. But it's only one mission. It's not really what I want to do. And this one has a decent amount of traffic. So not a ton, but if you look at the map, you can see that people have to go through the system to then go down toward your low sec systems here. So let's take one last look at another system. And this isn't the one that I'm going to go to. I may, but just in like 10 minutes of searching around, this whole area right here, and I'm going to say the name here, Ingenis. So let's look at this one real quick. It's got my first prerequisites. It's got a production and a research area. Then it's also got multiple agents in it. We've got level 5, level 5, level 4, level 4, level 3, a bunch of level 2s, another level 3. Now, are these all mining or security agents? I don't know. I got to check into that more. But this is a great example of an area that has all my prerequisites, but also has some of my wants. It's got the mission amounts. Um, it's off the beaten path, but it is farther than 10 jumps from a major trade hub. It's close, but it is farther, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go take a look at the map real quick. Back. No, we're going back. There we go. So let's just counter out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, and this is where it got very, very interesting. So if I just go straight through, not going safe wise, but straight through, I go 1, 2, 3, 4 through low 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's Joe Dixie at? 9. I'm 9 jumps away from Dodexy, so I'm within that range. But if you take a second look, I'm going through LowSec here, and this is where it got kind of interesting. I looked at these two systems. First one is Chauvel or whatever. Couple of ship kills. Okay. Oh, that bothers me a little bit. Don't want to be flying through my hard built stuff to market through here. And if you see here, ship kills, blah, 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 blah. You got a decent number of jumps. But then the next one, if I remember correctly, I'm hoping that I'm not misremembering this. This was the interesting one I liked. So if you look at the jumps in the last hour through the system called Deacon, D-E-C-O-N, no more than 20 jumps an hour, but almost every other hour there is a player ship kill here. So what that tells me, there's a good chance there's a decent amount of ganking going on, because this is not faction warfare area. There's somebody in there who is literally laying in wait, or some group that's literally laying in wait, probably on those gates, waiting for somebody to try to take this shortcut to get to Dodixie. Because if you don't take the shortcut, let's counter out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one jump farther will take you around the corner and have you not have to go through low sec. But if somebody's using their autopilot to set up a distance thing, then they'll get snagged in one of those two systems, most likely. So I'm interested. I may do a video of just flying up there, maybe tomorrow or the next day, just to check it out and see if I die. Because I have yet to die in this character. So that might be a kind of fun video. Now I got that going. So it's interesting. While you're doing certain things, to keep an eye out for other things. This reminded me of that. So it gave me more of a lay of the land. All right. It's been about 32 minutes. That's about all I got. Like I said, uh, you may see some random videos coming out about want to double pack them up. And I'm going to try it. If it works, if it doesn't, we'll see. I may do one week. I may do two one week. I may do one a month. I have no idea. But double pack them up. Idea is do an online as I'm coming up with the idea, post it, and then work on building that ship over a period of time. Read the comments from you guys, maybe get some ideas from there, do a little bit more research. And then once I fly the ship, we'll do a test. I'll do a test run on it, see how it goes. So, hey, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys have a great weekend or week. Um, Other than that, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however like you want. I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.